I became a Sonic fan only recently, a mere 2 years ago in the year 2021 on Sonic's 30th anniversary. And from that day forth, I could not stop loving the franchise. The fan base, the games, the people I meet, everyone is so passionate about Sonic, and overall it's such an amazing franchise. And I have it all thanks to one singular game. The game that I still think, to this day, is the best 2D platformer ever created. It combines spectacle, an amazing story, and beautiful gameplay to make one of the best 2D platformers of all time. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm Mr.NeedleMouse, and today, I'm going to be talking about how Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the best 2D platformer ever created. Boy, I'm gonna catch so much fire over this. Like, have you seen the amount of Mario fans out there? But hey, this is my video, not yours. What you gonna do about it? Now you may be asking yourself, Mr. NeedleMouse, are you insane? You're telling me that a platformer from 1994 is better than anything we have now in the last 10 years? Yes I am. And there is a reason for it. I'm gonna split this video into 3 parts. The gameplay of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the story of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and the impact it had on me as a person. You guys ready? I am. Let's get into the gameplay of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But a quick history recap is of course necessary for those who don't know the history behind Sonic 3 and Knuckles. For those who do know, skip to the timestamp ahead to get to the gameplay. As probably most of you know, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is actually 2 games. During development, Sega split the 2 games apart to make Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. And do you know why? Because of a deal with McDonald's. Yeah, no wonder so many people hate clowns. Ronald McDonald stole the perfect Sonic game from us. And so, Sonic 3 would release in February of 1994, while Sonic and Knuckles would release in October of 1994. With its revolutionary lock-on technology. With this technology, we'd be able to play the full game, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is the topic of today's video. And so, now that we're all caught up, it is time to talk about the gameplay of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were the 4th and 5th entry in the classic Sonic franchise respectively. Prior to them came Sonic CD in 1993, Sonic 2 in 1992, and Sonic 1 in 1991. What is great about Sonic 3 and Knuckles is its gameplay built off everything that was great about Sonic 2 and Sonic CD. It had those high-speed levels from Sonic 2, and it had the exploration part from Sonic CD. But instead of making that the central gimmick, instead it yields you extra lives and power-ups. And also intuitively hidden are the special stages. Gone are the days where you have to grade 50 rings by the end of a stage or getting a checkpoint with 50 rings. Now, the giant rings are hidden all around the stage and you have to explore the stage to find said giant rings. Just like in Sonic CD. But instead, it's no longer the central gimmick of the game. But if there's one thing that Sonic 3 and Knuckles does better than almost any other 2D platformer I've seen, it's level transition. In many games, you either hardcut from level to level, or you enter the next level via minimap. In Sonic 3 and Knuckles, when you end Act 1, Act 2 begins then and there, not taking you out of the experience at all. And when you end Act 2, there's a reason why Sonic is in the next zone. Knuckles throws a switch and Sonic falls into Hydrocity. A giant geyser explodes out of Hydrocity and shoves Sonic into a marble garden. It all interconnects, making Angel Island feel like an actual place and not level design and not just created for the sake of these levels. West Side Island from Sonic 2, South Island from Sonic 1, and Little Planet from Sonic CD don't have these crazy continuations. While yes, in platformers with minimaps, it makes sense why the worlds are like this, but there are often times where the worlds would suddenly switch, often from a grassland to a desert for no reason whatsoever. While in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, every single time you switch locations, it makes sense, and it doesn't even need a minimap for the story to feel cohesive and well put together. And that makes this 1994 16-bit game one of the most impressive things ever created. It doesn't need a minimap, it doesn't need those extra things to make itself an amazing platform that even to this day can challenge the best platformers that came out in the last 10 years. And the thing is, this world interacts differently depending on the character you play as. Knuckles will have his own levels that Sonic and Tails just don't go through because Knuckles knows Angel Island best. Tails has more vertical sections that allow him to find extra goodies that neither Knuckles or Sonic can't get to. This island is built on the ingenuity of these characters, their movesets, and taking in the story aspect, which is exactly what we're going to talk about next, the story of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Where do I even begin at telling how insanely amazing the story is for a platformer, especially a platformer from 1994? Okay, let's take it from the top. Our story starts at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, as Dr. Robotnik's Death Egg falls down back onto Earth after Sonic takes it out. As Dr. Eggman's greatest creation falls down to Earth, it hits a floating island, Angel Island, from the sky, sending it plummeting down into the ocean. The island is kept in the sky by the power of the Master Emerald, an emerald that is so powerful it can nullify the power of the Chaos Emeralds. There, Dr. Eggman meets the island's lone inhabitant, Knuckles the Echidna, a sworn guardian of the Master Emerald. There, Eggman convinces Knuckles that Sonic and Tails are his enemies and are trying to steal the Master Emerald from him. And so, Knuckles and Eggman team up and set up an ambush for the unknown Sonic and Tails, who are traveling onto Angel Island to find out why it fell out of the sky. Sonic and Tails are now traveling to Angel Island, and Sonic, to show off, jumps off the tornado to transform into Super Sonic. He blasts onto the island and is then ambushed by Knuckles, who jumps straight out of the ground and hits the Super right out of Super Sonic, grabbing the 7 Chaos Emeralds, chuckling, and running away. And then and there, the game begins. Sonic and Tails now have to recollect the 7 Chaos Emeralds and put an end to Dr. Eggman's evil plans, as he decides to set the island on fire and try blowing them up multiple times. At the end of Act 2, Sonic and Tails face the dastardly Doctor and take him down, only to be in another trap set by Knuckles that sends them down into the depths of Angel Island, into Hydrocity. Sonic and Tails now have to navigate the ancient ruins of Hydrocity and then Marble Garden to get to Carnival Night. So that's the only thing. Why is there a carnival on Angel Island? Did Eggman build it? When did he have the time to build a carnival? How did this happen? Sonic makes his way out of Carnival Night, snowboards down Ice Cap, climbs up the mountain, and enters Launch Base Zone. And that's when you see it, the Death Egg. The thing isn't destroyed, not by a long shot, and that's when it hits you. This thing didn't get destroyed, it's just sitting there. It's waiting for you. And you have to take it down before Eggman launches it into space again. You have to take it down, otherwise the world is in danger once more. Thankfully, Sonic is able to take down the Death Egg once more as it falls back onto Angel Island and into the second part of the game, the Sonic and Knuckles portion. As Sonic and Tails get down onto Mushroom Hill, we finally get the jump on Knuckles, the guy who's been setting traps over and over and over again. Finally, we got him. As we get down, we see the Master Emerald Shrine and the Super Emeralds, which then you can use to get Hyper Sonic. So Sonic must traverse through Mushroom Hill Zone, Flying Battery Zone, Sandopolis, and Lava Reef Zone to get to Act 2, where you see it again. Its stupid face right in the mountain, and that's when you realize again, it's still not destroyed, and he's still planning to launch it, and you have to go. if you're not careful, if you're not doing this, Eggman will relaunch this thing and it's all over after that. You cannot do anything. You have to take this thing down as now. Enter Hidden Palace, Knuckles makes his final stand. So terrified that the Master Emerald, this insanely powerful thing, will be stolen by the Blue Hedgehog. He's then taken down by Sonic and then realizes it's not Sonic who's his enemy, it's Eggman, as he steals the Master Emerald from Knuckles, powers up the Death Egg, and launches it. But that's when Knuckles realizes Sonic isn't his enemy, it's Eggman. So he helps Sonic get to Sky Sanctuary, and he tells him, go, save the world. And now you have to run, get through Sky Sanctuary as fast as possible to jump onto the Death Egg just barely. And this is where it all goes down, the Death Egg. Inside the Death Egg, you traverse insane traps made by Dr. Eggman as you finally get to the end. But he's not done. You destroy his mechs over and over and over again. This guy is not giving up. He's throwing everything he has at you. And in the end, as Sonic goes hypersonic and takes down the final weapon, he returns the Master Emerald to Knuckles, and the Angel Island floats back into the sky. Now, this is no Shakespeare. It's really not a very complicated story. Good guy gets tricked by bad guy to take down the main character, then they, come together and save the world. But the way the game makes this, a game of tag between Sonic and Dr. Eggman and Knuckles. Sonic has to chase down Eggman, has to chase down the Death Egg, and has to take it down once and for all. The way it sets up its story and the way it tells it, it's unlike any platformer ever. And for 1994, it's amazing. The characters don't talk once, and yet the story is so cohesive and well written. That's the power of 2D platformers. They can tell a story without saying a singular word. The impact Sonic 3 and Knuckles had on me is absolutely insane. I mean, this game gave me gateway into an amazing fan base, an amazing video game franchise. I am so thankful for this game because thanks to this game, I've met such incredible people that love Sonic, that are just as passionate as I am. And sure, the Sonic fan base can be toxic at times. It's true. And there are some things that I don't agree with other people, but my god, what a passionate franchise. Amazing artwork, amazing fan games, amazing things come out of this fan base constantly. And I can see that every person who loves Sonic is genuinely a passionate and incredible person. Yes, some people are toxic, that's true, but still. So thank you. Thank you, Sega. Yes, it's been nearly 30 years since the release of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but thank you so much for creating this game, because this game gave me access to one of my favorite franchises of all times, and my favorite video game franchise of all time. So, thank you, Sega. Thank you so much. And that's it. We've reached the end of the video. I want to say, first of all, a huge shout out to the artist, my close friend who has made the art for Mr.NeedleMouse and my and the thumbnail and for my channel icon. Awesome artist, amazing. If she ever does get a channel, it will be linked in the description. I want to say thank you to the people that I got some of the footage from, and I want to say thank you to you in specific, the viewer, because thank you so much for watching this video. It's my first video on YouTube, and you have no idea how much it means for you to be watching. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.